It's a sad day, fantasy owners. The end is nigh. And when the stakes are at their highest, championships at stake. Wouldn't you know, Sad Sack? He's nowhere to be found. Some excuse about little Sad Sack or some such nonsense. Parents, who needs them? So remember who was there for you in your time of need, fantasy owners. Here I am, gunk clogging my lungs, a throat-rattling cough disrupting my every breath, and still I'm here dispensing fantasy advice that you've been waiting for, or waiting to ignore. And since I tend to go off the rails a little bit when Jay is gone, translation, we have fun, we're gonna do something different to finish out 2014. In honor of the Royals and this sick George Brett throwback jersey, I'm translating the beautiful game to the national pastime. And what better way to do that than putting together my order, my murderer's row, so to speak, along with a couple of pinch hitters and 3 outs, aka teams to avoid like the plague currently coursing through my veins. So, leading it off, Ethan Finley. He's playing center field too, folks. Perhaps nobody better in open space right now in MLS. He'll track the ball down and he'll make the spectacular look easy. Think Lorenzo Cain. Plus, I like the home matchup with Philly. Hitting 2, Tony Tchani of the Crew. We're going 1-2 Crew because you know what? 1-2 is about being complimentary. And Tchani, well, he's making everybody better these days. He's consistent, but with some pop. Last 3 weeks, 9, 9, and 7. Scant ownership too. At 3, Lee Wynn playing second base. Your best hitter goes in the 3-hole, and MV Lee, he's about as well-rounded as fantasy players come. Price, production, home matchup versus Toronto. Go out and get him. You probably already have him. And clean it up, Obafemi Martins playing left field. If you're looking for some pop, look no further than Oba. He's a little temperamental, but what cleanup guy isn't? And he's a threat to go deep every time he touches the ball. Oh, and no Omar for LA, so that's a good sign for him. At 5, Thierry Henry, TT. He's got the ball too. He's the ace of our staff. And he's going to provide protection for the meat of my order. You don't want mid on base when TT comes to the plate. Beware, shaky KC back line. And at 6, playing first base, Kendall Waston. He looks like a first baseman. I mean, that part was easy. Defensively, Vancouver also have the best matchup of the round at home versus the hapless Rapids. A good bet for shutout points and maybe even a set-piece goal. The big Tico, he's also going to be rested and ready. That suspension, he's back, baby. And at 7, Nat Borchers playing right field. It's the second best defensive matchup in the game. That's RSL against Chivas USA midweek, and they're coming off 2 shutouts. I'm putting Borchers here, but look, you can go Winger, you can go Beltran, you can go Salcedo. They all work. At 8, playing shortstop, Andres Escobar of FC Dallas. He may not be a defensive wizard. To be fair, Oscar Pereira doesn't want him to be, but he's got the skill set to be everywhere on the field. FCD are nails at home, Portland are desperate, and the break is liable to be on. Enter Andres. Rounding out my order, David Osted playing catcher, the goalkeeper for the Whitecaps. Have you watched the Rapids play recently? It's ugly, and they don't really look like they know what they're doing, and since you aren't going to bet on the Caps' unpredictable attack, you might as well double up on the D. That means him and Waston. And since no ball club is complete without a few key bats waiting on the bench, I'll throw in a pair of bargain MLS fantasy pinch hitters in case you've got a budget crunch that needs solving. First, Aaron Schoenfeld of the Crew. Nobody's got him, and he's bound to get chances. Now, can he finish him? That's the big question. Second, Baja Husidic. I'm wary of LA for some reason. I don't know why. I dropped Landon Donovan this week as well, but there's bang for your buck there, and the ball seems to find him. Finally, 3 outs, or to be more specific, 3 teams you don't want to tie your fantasy manager championships dream to. Not at all. First, Colorado. I said it. Doesn't need a lot of explanation. Second, Toronto FC. This just feels like a Revs blowout, and they don't have anything to play for. And finally, Sporting Kansas City. Don't let that home date fool you, folks. That defense is a little bit questionable. There's not consistent attack either. So there you have it. You're set to win your league. The Royals, knock on wood, are going to break the Giants' hearts, and we can all agree Sad Sack let his loyal audience down. Until next year, good luck in your matchups.